Well, good evening, and welcome to the Monday, March 7th Humboldt City Council proceedings. Would you please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the meeting to order and have a roll call. Gloria, please.
Goodell.
Here.
Vermeer.
Here.
Rusher.
Here.
Davis.
Here.
First item this evening is the consent agenda. If you would read through there, and then I'll just read it off. And if you have any questions about any of the items on there, we can certainly set that aside for further discussion. Number one is approve agenda as printed. Number two, approve the minutes of the February 16th, 2016 regular council meeting. Number three, approve the February investment report. Number four, approve the February treasurer's report. Number five, approve the February claims. Number six, approve the renewal of a Class B native wine permit for Humboldt Engraving and Gifts, LLC. Number seven, approve the renewal of a Class B native wine permit for Sisters Homestyle Entrees, Inc., doing business as Sisters Homestyle Entrees. And number eight, approve the renewal of a Class C beer permit, Class B wine permit, outdoor service privilege, and Sunday sales privilege for Hy-Vee, Inc., doing business as Hy-Vee. Any questions on any items,
I make a
gentlemen?
motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Under the communications, not seeing anyone from the public here this evening, so we will open a public hearing at 5:33 p.m. to discuss the proposal for fiscal year 2016-2017 budget. First item is the review of the proposed budget. Maybe you all had a chance to look it over and. Any questions?
Today?
Good for you. Any comments, gentlemen, about anything on the budget?
I know.
Brett, Joel, you have anything? Gloria, are there any written comments or objections on file?
No, none were received. Do you want me to review it a little bit?
Sure.
Okay. The total levy on the budget is $17.39946. So it's up about 6 cents from last year's budget, which is mainly due to our debt service and our also our employee insurance costs. That's what the slight increase is. Our total, our general fund levy is $8.10 per thousand. Our transit, which is the money we give to the Co-City bus, ends up being about 9 cents per thousand, and that total dollar amount is $13,146 a year. That contract hasn't changed. Our insurance levy is $43,000, or about 30 cents per thousand. Our unified law enforcement, which is our LEC contract, and also the contract with the county for Dean's management services, is $149,000, which is about $1.04 per thousand. Our emergency fund is 27 cents per thousand, and that comes out to $38,682. Our employee benefit levy, which includes IPERS, Social Security, Medicare, the city's share of those. Also insurance costs, health insurance, dental insurance. That totals $395,000, which is $2.76 per thousand. And then there's a little ag land levy also that's about $1,800. That's only assessed on agricultural zone land, and that's gone down every year because we use up more of our ag land into development. That's really all I have.
Gloria did say that the total levy was going up 6,
Cents.
nearly 7 cents. This is actually, it's still less than it was 2 years ago, though. It's 5 cents less than 2 years.
Have either of you, and I don't want to throw you off right now, but have done any comparative studies in similar populated communities or similar budgeted dollar amount communities or employment, city employment individuals? I mean, and how we are in comparison to those communities? I mean, you're saying it's $17 and how much cents per thousand, did you say?
About $17.40 per
$17.40?
thousand is our total levy.
Okay.
It's hard to compare cities to cities because there are so many variable things, like if they have voted library levies, if they have debts, a lot of it depends on how much debt service they have. Our debt service payments are $4.84 a thousand.
I did reach out to the Iowa League of Cities to ask if they have on file, if they compile and come up with a spreadsheet essentially so we can compare across like-sized communities. They do not at this point. It's my understanding they used to, and it is something that they do have an interest into compiling again. So hopefully we can have the Iowa League of Cities do that for us, but it is a good way to be able to benchmark like-sized populations.
All the
things like
cities'
that.
budgets are on the Department of Management's website if
Okay,
you
so,
want to look.
well, I know, maybe you gentlemen all receive questions about how we are in comparison to other cities. It's, oh my gosh, it sounds like, we have a fairly, sounds like I have an extensive grade increase or, our property taxes or things like that. And I was just kind of wondering if there's, if we had some information, if that was available. Maybe Midas or MIGP maybe would have something like that. At least that would be regional information that we could use in comparison to, in a sense. But, okay,
It's broken down on the Department of Management's website by county, so you
Okay.
could look up Humboldt County and get all there. But you can't really compare, say, Livermore's levy with
Right.
ours because,
well, right,
or Dakota Cities with ours,
Mhm.
because we have different,
yeah.
but, yeah.
Any further discussion at this time, gentlemen?
No, I went through it with Travis and Gloria today, so I caught up, and so I really appreciate them taking the time and going through it today with me.
Okay, if there's no further comments or objections on the proposed budget for the 2016-2017 fiscal year, then I will close the meeting at 5:39 PM. Excuse me. And under resolutions, we need a motion to approve the following proposed resolution number 2016-20, a resolution approving the fiscal year 2016-2017 budget for the city of Humboldt, Iowa.
I move to approve.
Second?
Seconded by George. Roll call vote, please.
Goodell,
Aye.
Vermeer,
Aye.
Rusher,
Aye.
Davis.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next, we need a motion to approve the following proposed resolution number 2016-21, a resolution establishing the annual salaries for appointed officials and estimated annual salaries for hourly city employees for the fiscal year 2016-2017, with payment of such to occur over 26 pay periods commencing July 1st, 2016.
As included in the agenda item summary in the packets, the personnel policy for Humboldt states that the city council will establish the pay by resolution for implementation by July 1st of each year. The accompanying wages were what was budgeted for in the budget that was just adopted with the preceding resolution. Any
Any
questions
questions,
regarding
guys?
So what was sent out, those have the built-in rate increase in
Correct.
there? Which is the same as what the police officers
the collective
received?
bargaining agreement? Correct. That's all I have.
Okay. Do you have more?
Move to approve.
First, motion by Darrell and
Second.
seconded by Brett. Roll call vote, please.
Vermeer,
Aye.
Rusher,
Aye.
Davis.
Aye.
Goodell.
Aye. Motion carried. Next, we need a motion, excuse me, to approve the following proposed resolution number 2016-22, a resolution approving an engineering services agreement from Clapsaddle and Garber Associates, Inc. for the Humboldt Municipal Airport snow removal equipment acquisition project and authorizing myself, the mayor, to sign the aforementioned agreement.
So this project has been, I believe dates back to 2014, if I remember where it first started. The city is essentially entitled to $150,000 every year from the FAA. And of this money, this equipment was supposed to be, equipment was to be purchased with that $150,000 entitlement from the FAA. Total project costs are anticipated to be $180,000, and the city's share of costs is 10% or $18,000. Now that $150,000, that's per year, and it can be banked up to $450,000. So we do actually carry a bit of a balance as well. And so, if the costs exceed $180,000, that 10% remains stable, but of course, our dollar value cost will go up. So if it's $200,000, our share is $20,000, and FAA picks up $180,000.
Need a motion to,
So moved.
motion by Joel,
Second.
seconded by Brett. Roll call vote, please.
Rusher,
Aye.
Davis.
Aye.
Goodell.
Aye.
Vermeer.
Aye.
Motion carried. Well, those are our regularly scheduled items this evening. Travis, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Yes, one of the things that myself and the department heads we've discussed is expectations. One of which has come up is there really is there's no definitive on purchasing. At what authority does the department have to go ahead to simply go ahead and make a purchase they see as needed? What's the authority that I have as the administrator to say, yes, that's a need, go ahead? And at what point do we come to the governing body before and say, ask for pre-approval? And so at the next council meeting, I'm going to ask that we have a workshop at 5 o'clock. We've begun drafting a purchasing policy that we'll look at implementing, which will define those values at what it's basically giving department heads authority under a certain value, the city administrator under a certain value, and then anything above, governing body has to give prior approval. We'll outline competitive bid process, what that'll look like. We'll look at different services such as engineering, workman's comp. What kind of basis do we want to put that out every year? Do we want to put out rotating? Do we not want to have it subject to a competitive bid? So I do ask that we have a workshop at 5 o'clock at the next meeting for that.
Gloria, do you have anything to say?
I just wanted to remind people a couple things. The weather's getting nice. I did open the compost pile today, so that's a good thing. People always look forward to that. Also, there is no parking on the street yet for the whole month of March, not till April 1st. So overnight parking. So hopefully there won't be any more snowstorms, but it's still April 1st is the day.
Okay. Darrell, do you have anything this
No, I
evening?
don't.
Brett, do you have anything
Nope.
this evening? Joel? Anything this evening? Jim?
Mentioned today, it's pothole season, so there's a lot of them out there. And I think if, our staff can't drive every mile in town, so if there's areas that are bad, I think they need to report it to the city. I think they just get worse. If you just wait with them, they just get worse, so might as well report them and get them fixed.
Yeah, as soon as the frost goes out, that
Yep.
always happens.
My only question was, have you had any contact with Goberson Smith or the engineering company from Mason City that was in charge of the Sumner Avenue Bridge and where we are at on that project? Are you, and I don't mean to throw you a curve, and I could have, but, I mean, there was discussion that we were not gonna accept the bridge as it was, and that there was gonna be maybe a milling process, and that they were gonna
And
resurface.
overlay to try and.
Is Goberson Smith the contractor?
Yes, they are from,
Okay.
they're
Okay.
the general contractor from Ida Grove. And-
I
correct.
spoke with WHKS and
Which is
yes,
our
this
engineering
spring- which is
firm.
the engineering firm for
From-
the bridge. And yes, this spring they will be coming out and doing a reevaluation, and I believe it's going to be a cut patch versus a mill, but we'll discuss it when the engineers get in. But yes, there is going, another visit from the engineers as to what we need to do to get the bridge to where it needs to be.
Do you have any idea how long that process would take,
I do
Travis?
not.
I mean, from the time they mill it to re-pour it and things like that. I would just hate to see us, you know, maybe on graduation weekend or even the 4th of July.
Mhm.
I know there's a lot of activities on the 4th of July, and that, so if it couldn't be done maybe before that, you know, time frame, maybe should wait till after the 4th of July, when there's less activities going on around the community that would, you know, cause for us not maybe being able to use the bridge for a certain time. I mean, there's just a thought.
I'm a little bit afraid that if they start tearing the thing up and redoing, we're gonna have worse, and in the end, it'll be worse than it is now.
That's my,
And that's a
I was gonna
discussion
bring
that's
that
come
up
up.
too. I think if they mill off something and then patch it, I think anytime that ever happens, I think we ruin the integrity of the surface. I'm not sure we should even mess with it. I know that it's not ideal, but I'm real skeptical on whether this is gonna be a benefit to it, or whether it's just gonna open up a fissure for salt water and everything else to get into.
All right, I'll get a second and third.
We don't want
opinions from
ponding on it,
engineering.
we want, if there's any ponding issues, but I don't know about, you know, we could maybe take care of that if possible.
And there is some ponding that's happening, but I tend to agree with you. I guess something I see in the paper, before I got on the council, that one of the option was to mill it down and put like a 2-inch layer over top, and I just really question the durability of that over time.
In 2 years, it'll be gone. It'll be worse than it is now.
I mean, it just seems to me with the truck traffic that gets and the, you know, the semis and stuff, I just don't think it's gonna stand up. I really don't.
Okay.
I'm really concerned about whether we're just making it worse.
It's just so much better than what we had before. I see with it.
I realize that a lot of people were unhappy with it, but I think now
Well-
that people are used to it, I don't even notice it anymore personally. And I just don't know if we might just be opening up a whole new can. So I would agree with Darrell on that. I'm not sure that we should do anything with it.
Okay. I'll get some additional opinions from other engineering firms on their thoughts of doing the repair work essentially versus leaving it and accepting it as is. Because the ponding is it's not necessarily oh, do you feel a little wobble as you go across the bridge? It's the ponding that you want to avoid.
That's the